episode of Action with Podcast is brought to you by our gold partner, A-Star Financial Solutions UK, who'll be there to help you throughout the home buying process from the initial assessments to the day that you get your keys. Our silver partner, TapTap Send. With great rates, zero fee, and instant transfers, sending money to Nepal has never been so easy. Get the app today and use the code ACTION10, especially for our Action with listeners to get a £10 bonus. Tap and send now. Also, a big mention to our silver partner, New Luxmi Jewelers, home to a stunning range of jewelries and timeless collections from the heart of Aldershot. Finally, our bronze partner is Nepal Authentic Dining, where authentic and delicious Nepali food is served right from Shepherd's Bush and Boston Manor. And our bronze partner, Nepali Music Festival UK 2022, taking place at the Harrow Leisure Centre on December 16 with Trishna Gurung and Ekdev Limbu and more. Enjoy the episode. Well, welcome to another episode of Action with Podcast with, I'm Lex Limbu, but I was going to say we have Miruna Magar. We have Miruna on the show today. So anyone who's listening in, stay tuned because we are going to be talking about lots of things. Welcome, Miruna.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
How was your journey in? Thank you so much for driving all the way in, by the way.
It was fun. I like driving. So... so traffic पनि थिएन. I thought M25 was going to be quite bad, but it was nice.
That's good. Good to hear. And first off, let me just get straight into it. Congratulations on your recent graduation and winning, not winning, winning IOA, but receiving the award as well. Did you know that was happening?
Thank you, Ani. It actually happened way before our results came out. So your gold award part happened around, I think, March or April. So we had a different ceremony for it, but then they did say they're going to announce it on the graduation ceremony itself. They पनि announce गर्छ भनेको थियो. So I did know अगाडि नै.
Yeah. Okay. So by the time that this the ceremony came around, which was at the end of July, at the end of July, so you were pretty much expecting it, ready for the poses, but that's such a great achievement. Timro life ma, you are taking on multiple things, and in between this, pandemic period, studying from home. And filming not just one thing, but filming multiple things and going back from UK to Nepal. What's the secret in managing these multiple priorities?
There is no secret. I actually just I don't really plan much things. Except for shoots and stuff where you have to plan a lot of things in the beginning. अरू कुराहरू चाहिँ जस्तै music video shootsहरू भयो अनि पढाइको लागि चाहिँ I had kind of separated a amount of time that I knew I was going to finish my studies in that time period, but a lot of things happened in between. The secret is just going with the flow, I guess.
Right?
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. I think मैले बिर्सेँ last time कहिले भेट भएको तर एकचोटि do you remember हामी Shepherd's Bush मा एउटा नेपाली
I think we went for dinner. I think that was the last time we met.
Oh my god, that's such a long time ago, eh?
I don't even know how long ago it was.
तर त्यो सोशल मिडियामा हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब सोशल मिडियामा धेरै एकअर्काको पोस्टहरू देखिराख्दाखेरि चाहिँ you feel like भेटिरहेको छ जस्तो
I think 17-18 तिर होला
17-18 किनभने त्यो समयमा पनि तिमीले एक दुईवटा फिल्महरू अलरेडी गरिसकेर फर्केर आएको थियो हैन एउटा ब्रेकको लागि यहाँ अनि you had mentioned मलाई त मास्टर्स गर्नु मन छ भनेर हैन तर फेरि अब I think opportunities kept coming your way and I was just thinking I wonder अब फिल्महरु गर्न थाले पछाडी तब मास्टर्स कहिले भ्याउँछ होला भन्ने सोचिरहेको थिए and then you did it. That's so amazing.
मलाई पनि त्यसै भइरहेको थियो अब जस्तै every time I came back to the UK हैन म अब चाहिँ मास्टर्स गर्छु भनेर आउँथे के म अनि नेपालमा पनि कतिचोटी मैले I have an apartment त्यहाँनिर अनि I just leave everything. So सबै प्याक गरेर I pack it अनि सामानहरु चाहिँ relatives कोमा or just donate half the stuff and I was like okay I'm going for good म मास्टर्स गरेर मात्रै फर्किन्छु भनेर आयो अनि UK आएपछि फेरि एउटा मुभी अपर्च्युनिटी or के आउँथ्यो के सो त्यसरी चाहिँ हुँदैन जस्तै लागेको थियो तर 2020 मा चाहिँ when I came here it was actually only for a month. So एक महिनाको छुट्टी लिएर भनौँ हैन नेपालमा चाहिँ I left my stuff as it is. I was still paying for my apartment अनि I came UK मा अनि and then lockdown happened. So first 2-3 months I didn't do anything hola.
Yeah.
It was just like, everyone was baking, everyone was cooking, doing TikToks, exercising, all that stuff. And त्यहाँपछि चाहिँ it hit me, like, what am I doing with my life? अब यत्रो धेरै खाली टाइममा चाहिँ के गर्न मिल्छ भनेर सोच्दा चाहिँ it's like, oh, I remember I was supposed to do masters हुन्छ नि मलाई गर्न मन थियो त्यो चाहिँ मैले बिर्सिनु आँटिसकेको रहेछु कि and I was like, होइन, this is the time भनेर अनि I looked up universities अनि best option चाहिँ घरको नजिक पनि अनि पहिला पनि पढेको भएर ब्रुना युनिभर्सिटी नै मलाई राम्रो लागेर I applied अनि I got in पनि. So that's how it started. Ani first semester tha I think sabai online नै भयो. So that's how my master's journey started. So it wasn't like planned त्यो पनि हुन्छ नि खाली टाइम आउँदै आउँदै जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ गर्नै पर्छ अहिले नै हो टाइम भनेर गरेको.
That's amazing that the challenging time of the pandemic obviously led to something so wonderful, and now you have kind of ticked it off, and regardless of what you plan to do in terms of your career, you'll have that. And also, I think every now and again to do something that is slightly different from our norm is always good, because it kind of grounds us, but it also makes us a new beginner in something else.
Yeah, definitely. That's how the experience was for my master's, because after graduating like in 2016, I was literally off like books and writing. Even assignments were like imagine nagarne kura haina. And it was just like I was staying up till, in the beginning of my master's, I was staying up till like 1 or 2 because we had to read 30-40 pages long like journal articles, and it was 40 hours of self-study for a week, like 1 week ma.
Lord.
Ani teni like but I was so excited for it. Ani I did it. I don't know how I did it, but it was just so exciting and like naya kura, like you said, every time you start something new, it's just that thrill of not knowing something. And like, your I think the mindset that I had at that time was masters गरेर चाहिँ मैले एकदमै ठुलो केही गर्न पर्दैन. I just need to learn अनि फेरि like get back into studies and get back into writing, reading भनेर पनि थियो. So that really helped.
So now right now you must be like referencing and everything. I can do it, I know.
Yeah, for the time being, yes, but
6 months later you forget how to you're also ke paila it's so weird,
like,
right?
Writing in bold and then page numbers.
That's when you go on Google and search like auto reference or
मैले के use गर्थ्यो? I think it was Biblio something. मैले बिर्सि पनि सक्यो अहिले हैन. It was a website. But I still had to put everything in, like I didn't use the word with the automatic referencing.
Because you never really trust it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like and they emphasized it so much during like our lessons, and everyone's like referencing right one or anything, but a marks they katinsa one. So it's like make sure every single one is like good one. So
Gosh. Well, I think that's a big chapter done as well. But equally, we started from the most recent, but congratulations on the huge success of Kabaddi 4 as well.
Thank you.
That film has done wonders, not only in Nepal, but I believe there's still like screenings in the UK that are continuing in various forms. I went to watch it, the first screening as well, in Aldershot, and that was a complete sold out event. It was crazy. I'm sure you had similar experiences in Nepal. The crowd was so animated and responsive to the scenes there. And it just felt like, I felt like, oh my God, Miruna Magar and the crew should be here too. But I'm sure you guys had an incredible time there too.
Yeah, suruma there was we were planning to come to the UK because ghar bhanekai UK bhanera bhन्छ नि त अनि गाउँमा दिदी र म we used to talk about it, and we were like, I think we should be in the UK when it releases, like for the premiere. And then we decided, होइन फेरि नेपालमा पनि हुन्छ नि. This is especially for Didi, it was the first time. अनि first movie मा नेपालको crowdसँगको experience is completely different. So I think you should definitely come to Nepal भन्थे कि मैले दिदीलाई. And she's like, I've got a friend's wedding to go to, and then I don't know if I can make it. So I was like, we decided at the end to stay in Nepal, and I think it was the best decision we made because hall visits हरू भयो. त्यहाँपछि त्योभन्दा अगाडि पनि टुरमा unfortunately Didi couldn't make it because of her आफ्नै उहरू टाइम पनि मिलेन फ्लाइटको हैन. But it was a surreal experience. अहिले सम्झिँदाखेरि like every time Kesari songs on, like if it comes on अनि त्यो I don't know, I just feel this wind in my face. Like त्यो I think त्यो टुरहरूमा सबैमा चाहिँ त्यस्तै भएको थियो क्या, स्टेजमा जाने अनि त्यो गीत बजाउने हामी जाँदाखेरि, अनि सबै त्यो वेदर पनि त्यस्तै थियो एभ्री सिङ्गल लोकेसनमा, अनि त्यही मलाई चाहिँ त्यो याद आउँछ. इट फिल्स भेरी सरियल.
Right? Oh my God, that's amazing. Like, you've like whatever age you are, I was just gonna say you are, but then I forgot like how old you are. But whatever age you are, like you've already lived quite a colorful life. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
In terms of being so present in the Nepali creative landscape, as well as the UK ko Nepali community, and pursuing your educational pursuits as well. And I feel like certain chapters they're still back in it.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, sorry, what were you gonna say?
No.
Okay, so Kabaddi 4 ko barema kura garदाखेरि चाहिँ, you were working with certain actors. It's a big franchise. So did you kind of feel like, okay la, I'm walking into a hit film?
No. Instead of that, it was more of a lot of pressure and a lot of I think not burden, but it felt like I have to be more responsible because it's already, like you said, such a big franchise, and the characters are already so loved by people, and they've already accepted every single character, like especially like BK Chandyal, who's like who walk alongside like Kaji, and this time Bam Kaji was back as well, and so it felt like a lot of pressure to fit in the beginning, like when it was even before workshop started. So when I read the script and my character was something like completely different to what the other Sultinis were, and like you've seen in the movie, it's actually the Sultini who's after Kaji kind of way, and so त्यो पढ्दाखेरि त झन् I was like, oh my god, how am I going to pull this off? हुन्छ नि यस्तो अब काजीको क्यारेक्टर भनेको त I've heard, because I worked with Daya Dai before that movie, and every time we went somewhere together, it's like, oh Kaji Dai हुन्छ नि, like everyone's like Kaji भनेर. यस्तो मान्छेहरूको मनमा बसिसकेको क्यारेक्टरलाई चाहिँ मैले कसरी फकाउँछु होला त, अरू मैले कसरी हुन्छ नि इन्क्लुड गराउँछु मेरो जर्नीमा भनेर चाहिँ एकदमै प्रेसर थियो. But then as we sat down for workshop and then we started hanging out with the whole crew, especially like Rambabu Gurung, I used to be so afraid of him. Like सुरुमा जाँदा म बोल्दै बोल्दिनँ थिएँ, हुन्छ नि डर लाग्ने के दाइ, because he's such a, I think, strong character, because he has this mind. It's like त्यो स्क्रिप्टहरूमा मुभी हेरेर नै पनि थाहा हुन्छ होइन. अनि सुरुमा जाँदा चाहिँ मलाई चाहिँ डर लाग्ने के दाइसँग बोल्न. Like what if I say something wrong, because I've always been that kind of person होइन. अनि त्यस्तो हुन्थ्यो. तर पछि चिन्दै जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ he listens to every single like actor, and he listens to like the characters and what I had to say about my character, and he's like, okay, bring something like tomorrow, and so ke चाहिँ change गर्न मिल्छ त, you tell me भनेर भन्नुहुन्थ्यो क्या. So it was kind of like challenging me as well. And so I got to think about the Santi character from so many different perspectives, अनि अलि one dimensional मात्रै नभएर अलिकति अरू जर्नीहरू पनि एड गर्ने कि शान्तिको भन्ने कुराहरू पनि हुन्थ्यो. So त्यो ओभरअलमा चाहिँ सुरुमा प्रेसर फिल भयो, पछि चाहिँ I was just so into that family. I like to call it a family, अनि it was just a wonderful experience.
That sounds really good. And, I mean, it's also great that there was that ability to have that two-way conversation and a bit of, exercise with the director, rather than, no, this is it. You are this. It's either that or nothing. And so, Kabaddi 4 has happened. But, you have been part of multiple movies in Nepal, right? Rose Bayo, Lal Purja. I can't think of something. Sorry. So I knew that there was another one. Yeah. And so many music videos. Like I'm not even gonna count, but I think one of the more recent one was the Sushant Kesi music video as well. I know. What do you enjoy more if one had to pick between doing a film or a music video?
I think I don't think I can choose one, because it's two very similar but very like completely different experiences. Music video, you just shoot it for like a day or two, maximum like 4 days, and you only know that team for like a certain amount of time, and then you don't have that kind of एउटा कस्तो भन्छ like a bond, like
Yeah.
it's very quick. So भेट्यो कुरा गर्यो and then you're like, oh shoot, and then it's over. But whereas a movie, I mostly love the fact that there's such a team bond between every single cast and crew as well. Especially maybe because I live alone in Nepal, like I value that experience. So when I go for a movie, especially if it's outside of Kathmandu Valley, I love that experience because everyone's like a family and you're always together and you have all these people looking after you, and then it's just that experience that you have with all these people from different backgrounds and different walks of life, and I really, really value that. So I cannot choose one, but I think I lean more towards movies. Yeah.
Talking about that kind of that being part of a bigger family, bigger kind of unit, your main immediate family, they all live in the UK.
Yeah.
Your parents, your sister. You mentioned that Nepalma, Kathmanduमा, you're by yourself, भनेर. And when I check on social media and so on, I don't necessarily see you in many places, whether it's like with lots of people and so on. Whereas it's so easy to see certain models or actors who are constantly being part of a group and, socializing and so on. So what do you do? Like, how do you, and how is your kind of personal life in Kathmandu?
It's a lot of traveling. I love going to like different, especially restaurants, I think, and cafes. There's so many new cafes every time you search for it in Kathmandu. I have a very small circle of friends there, those who I call family, actually. So I go out with them, I hang out with them. I live a very normal, like a boring lifestyle, actually. I don't really enjoy a lot of the partying, clubbing scene of Kathmandu, which I have been to few and I didn't really enjoy it. So I kind of stay away from that. But it's not like I'm kind of block everyone off. If I meet them, in like a different setting, then I'm definitely there. But especially nightlife, say, I don't really have one banda huncha होला नेपालमा हैन, even here पनि. अनि I've always been that way, I guess. नेपालमा चाहिँ it's a very normal, like I have a dog who lives at my auntie's house. It doesn't live with me, but I had him with me throughout the first lockdown Nepalma.
What's the dog called?
Simba.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, he's like 11 months now, I think. Yeah.
So you got the dog?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
But they needed a dog, and then I was just like, oh, this is the perfect excuse to get one. And so I hang out a lot with him, and I go on drives, I hang out with my friends.
Do you drive in Nepal too?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw you driving like UK ma, and I thought, oh, she must have missed driving. Clearly you drive in Nepal.
But it's, oh my God, driving in Nepal is like extremely not challenging, but it's fun.
Okay.
It's like a roller coaster ride.
I like the idea of being able to drive like in Chitwan, or like Pokharako side or tira, but Kathmanduma चाहिँ I just cannot think like कसरी drive गर्ने होला भनेर. But equally, when I see from people ko posts and stuff, or when I think about evenings, I guess evenings are easier. Then again, it's so dark.
There's no street lights.
Yeah, because you're just thinking, oh my God, कोही छ कि खालको.
Yeah. It's fun. यस्तो हुन्छ because त्यहाँ चाहिँ कस्तो भने, rather than you driving safe, you have to be aware that other people might not be driving safe हुन्छ, and you have to be aware all the time, alert. Like यहाँ त अब एउटा लेनमा ड्राइभ गरिराख्दा you're for sure certain that other lane drivers are not going to come into your lane without putting the side light on. But Nepalma, even side lights are confusing. So like if they give like the right side light on and they're like parked up, you don't know if you're supposed to like overtake them. Apparently you're supposed to overtake them if they give you that light.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So it's like either are they going to change the lane, or are they telling me to like
go
overtake
around,
them, or or they just like parked up and like it's confusing.
God.
But
so
it's
mind-boggling.
fun. Yeah.
Lord, I've never driven in Nepal, so
you should try it next time.
That will have to be a big like milestone. Driven in Kathmandu. Well, that sounds lovely. That sounds like you have a cute setup going on. It's just that I just wanted to ask because there are a lot of fellow Nepalis from the UK who are making their journeys back to...
sorry to cut you off, but I do have a group of friends from the UK as well. We call ourselves like UK Returns.
Oh, wow.
It's like it's
Okay, is
mostly
this a
like
Facebook group or
no,
Instagram?
It's just like within ourselves. It's like
Yeah.
a few dais and didiहरू who I meet like sometimes. And पहिला चाहिँ म बसेको एरियामा they used to have like restaurants and like cafes around that area. So I was always hanging out with them. अनि पछि चाहिँ अब मुभीहरूमा अझै हुँदै गएपछि अझै मान्छेहरू चिन्दै गएपछि I hang out with other people as well. But सुरुमा हामी चाहिँ अनि they have like their cousins and then
Yeah.
like one person and then like their cousins and stuff. So त्यसरी चाहिँ that group
It
त्यो group पनि
multiplies.
छ, yeah.
Hey, okay. No, that's
UK
so
Returns.
lovely. No, that's really nice to hear. And I
Yeah.
think it's like the biggest thing is going to a place like going to a new city. And कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ हामीलाई लाग्छ अब हामी अब नेपालको भएर पनि नेपालमा गएपछि सबै मिल्छ राम्रो हुन्छ भनेर. But then you go there and then sometimes you feel isolated. You feel like actually अब पुरानो साथी नै छैन हैन सो अब कहाँबाट सुरु गर्ने भन्ने पनि हुन्छ नि त अनि कतिपय मान्छेहरूलाई त्यस्तो फिल हुन्छ कतिपय मान्छेहरूले चाहिँ त्यो कनेक्सन इस्टाब्लिश गर्न सक्दैन हैन सो त्यही भएर पनि मलाई खासै सोध्नु मन परेको थियो त्यो क्वेशन चाहिँ but
it was actually like I think I give credit to them for bringing me out because सुरुमा पनि they called me out so many times and I was like oh छानेर हुन्छ नि like I don't know the other people I know like you but I don't know other people and like कसरी उ गर्ने जस्तो हुन्थ्यो तर once I started hanging out with them it was really fun we traveled to a lot of places as well like around Kathmandu ne कसैको छुट्टी छ भने it's like movie हेर्न जाने and I watch a lot of movies as well नेपालमा it's like नयाँ movie आउनु बित्तिकै that's like my first thing to do go to watch a movie
any type of movies or
yeah
Nepali English
Nepalma it's just like it's like a because there isn't much like places that you can go to except for like the nightlife that I talk about like clubs and bars and this जाने बाहेक चाहिँ अलि recreational हुन्छ नि stuffहरू गर्ने कुरै भेट्दिनँ कि म I especially miss parks like UK को पार्कहरू एकदमै मिस हुन्छ अनि अरू जाने भनेको it's either restaurants or there's very few like अहिले trampoline parks अनि ice skating I've been to all of them and it's like one time thing के त्यो चाहिँ गयो अनि त्यसपछि फेरि कतिचोटि जाने जस्तो हुन्छ अनि like movies is something that you can always go to because there's like नयाँ movie आइरहेको हुन्छ so yeah
You're very right. The whole restaurant culture is more like it's an activity because a lot of new restaurants come in and that's what people do. They just go from restaurants to restaurants. Which is quite interesting because apart from like food sometimes you don't really gain that much
exactly
it's just you lose money
and you gain weight
and it's expensive Kathmandu to eat out
ekdamai I think that's where I spend most of my money eating out
gosh Lord so your first movie how did that opportunity come about
so I was doing this theater course which was 3 months long it was in Actors Studio run by Anup Baral sir and I did that course for 3 months and then I was supposed to come back to the UK but then everyone there all my friends and my teachers were like I think you should stay for the production because you've spent so much time why are you going to go right at the end like you should take it through to the production as well so I extended my stay for 2 more months and 1 month was spent in rehearsals and then there was this play called Katha Des Tin which I did for a whole month and I think exactly around the time I was about to come back to the UK a group of movie producers and directors came to Katha Des Tin to watch the show and they were looking for a character for their movie Parpala so that's how they casted me they saw me at the play and they were like oh, we've got this character would you like to play this and then I was like yeah so I read the script and then I decided
so after their approach did you have to audition
yeah they did like a screen test
okay.
So it was they gave me 2 scenes from the movie to do it was this audition happened at Gyob and Sunil Sirko studio ma yeah I did that audition and then they said okay perfect and then I got the role
nice so taking a step back so in terms of the actor studio and pursuing training in theater त्यो चाहिँ like has acting always been something that you wanted to kind of get into or try out
That was also not planned actually, because I went back to Nepal after I think I graduated, and I was working at Euston Square Hotel as a meetings and events executive, and I was like, this is not what I want to do. I want to go to Nepal. I really have to go, because the year before that I was in Nepal for I think 2014. It was Childreach International
yes.
Big Build Nepal project, and then the year after that for earthquake as well. After the earthquake happened, I went there for volunteering, and so I took a year out in 2016, and I decided I'm gonna go back to Nepal. I'm gonna volunteer, and I'm gonna spend 3 months volunteering at a certain like organization. And then I went there. I had the email from here, so I went back, and then I went to the organization, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, we don't have the confirmation email." And I was like, "I have it," but they're like, "Okay, fill in the volunteering form just in case." And then I filled the form in, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, we lost the form." So I filled it in again,
God.
and then after I think around the third time, they're like, "Oh, our volunteering coordinator is not in town anymore. So she's going to be away for quite some time." So I was like, okay, just let it be. I'm going to go to a different organization. So I had some time in hand, and I was looking at all the different things that I could do. So my mom used to be in theater while I was small. So I decided, okay, this seems like a good opportunity to learn something, not just about acting, but about myself as well, because I knew there's going to be so many different exercises and so many different things that happens. So I was like, okay, I'm going to sign up. And do you know
Wow.
Alan Gurung?
Yes,
Yeah,
the guy from Tando.
so I was speaking to him as well. He's a really good friend, and उसले पनि त्यहीँनिर गरेको थियो के
So you knew him from before signing up?
Yeah, before signing
okay.
up. So he was like, "Oh, why don't you do this?" And I was like, "Okay, let me go sign up." And it's like, so he was one of the him and my uncle Dumbar Krishna Srestha. He's in Hong Kong right now. So those are the two people who kind of pushed me into it. They're like, "This is a good opportunity. Why don't you try it one day?" I signed up, and then that's how that started.
Miruna, that is so fascinating, because I don't think a lot of people would sign up for a theater, class or session.
Yeah.
On their break, unless they were really interested in like putting themselves in that
like
position.
When I say it now, it sounds like कस्तो भन्ने यत्तिकै आएको रहेछ भन्ने जस्तो हुन्छ क्या. But then it was only after that experience that I really got to explore all the different parts of like theater and like acting, and just the environment that I was in really I think opened my eyes towards acting and towards theater and movies as well. Because त्यो भन्दा अगाडि चाहिँ मैले हेर्दाखेरि we hosted movies together कतिवटा हैन. त्यसमा पनि like outside world बाट हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ it was like fascinating, but then we didn't really give much thought to it. So it's like हुन्छ film हुन्छ जस्तो हुन्थ्यो. अनि अर्को चाहिँ I don't think I never really thought about myself as an actress UK मा हुँदाखेरि, or even when I was younger growing up. I never saw it like how can I especially with the features that I have पहिला चाहिँ like त्यो चाहिँ अब धेरै कुरा जोडिँदै जान्छ त्यसमा हैन, a lot about representation as well. त्योहरू हेर्दा चाहिँ कहिले पनि त्यो सोचेकै थिएन कि मैले एक्ट्रेस हुन मिल्छ भनेर. अनि त्यो भएर पनि होला त्यो एक्सपिरियन्स पछि मात्रै चाहिँ थिएटर कोर्स गरेपछि मात्रै I started loving the field that I'm in right now. Yeah.
Wow. So it's kind of like, you ended up there unknowingly, and or like without the knowledge of that, it would really take you somewhere. And, now several movies under, and, you're a very recognized face in the scene, and a really budding actor. Which is incredible.
Thank you.
You mentioned about representation. So I just wanted to ask about that. I think post-Loot, things have changed slightly. And while we're not trying to put so much responsibility on Daya Hang Rai, but Daya Hang Rai equally has made so many of us feel that हामी जस्तो देख्ने मान्छे पनि हिरो हुन सक्दो रहेछ, हामी जस्तो मान्छेले पनि हँसाउन एउटा फिल्मलाई चलाइदिन सक्दो रहेछ भन्ने खालको आँट र एउटा विश्वास धेरैमा पुग्यो भनौँ न. र कति धेरै एक्टर्सहरू यो लाइनमा हुनुहुन्छ जो चाहिँ पहिल्यैदेखि नै मेहनत गर्दै हुनुहुन्थ्यो, उहाँहरूलाई पनि केही हदसम्म अलिकति बाटो पनि खुल्यो हैन. but still there's still so much challenges. So I just wanted to ask you, अहिलेको समयमा चाहिँ है कस्तो लाग्छ in terms of your representation को केसमा, especially जनजाति background को peopleहरूको लागि चाहिँ in this acting / modeling world.
अहिले अब अघि दया दाइको कुरा आइहाल्यो यसमा होइन म पनि दया दाइलाई चाहिँ एकदमै उहाँहरूले जुन बाटो बनाउनु भयो त्यसमा नै अहिले हामी हिँडिरहेछौँ हामी यसमा कस्तो भने रिप्रेजेन्टेसन हुँदै नभएको होइन तर वाइल ग्रोइङ अप वाट वी स वाज त्यो थिएन नि त त्यस्तो फेसहरू हाम्रो जस्तो फेस हुन्छ भनेर हामीलाई थाहा नै थिएन स्पेसली लाइक क्यारेक्टर रोल्सहरूमा हुन्थ्यो तर अब यु अ पर्सन विथ आवर फिचर्स कुड एक्चुली रन अ होल मुभी हुन्छ नि उसकै क्यारेक्टर उसकै स्टोरीमा चाहिँ त्यो होल मुभी नै चल्छ र पिपल विल लभ इट सो मच भनेर नै हामीलाई थाहा थिएन क्या अनि यसमा चाहिँ अहिले कस्तो छ भने अहिले रिसेन्टली मैले एकदमै कमै पहिला when I first started मुभिजहरू होइन धेरै कमेन्ट्सहरू चाहिँ के आउँथ्यो भने कोरियन फेस भनेर क्या एकदमै नै कस्तो कोरियन जस्तो लुक्स भएको मान्छे भन्थ्यो अनि त्यो पनि आई थिङ्क इट्स बिकज अफ रिप्रेजेन्टेसन ल्याक अफ रिप्रेजेन्टेसन बिकज नेपालमा हामीले हेर्ने मुभिजहरू भनेको नेपाली मुभिजहरू जसमा हाम्रो जस्तो अनुहारहरू धेरै हुँदैन थियो हुन्थ्यो एकदमै कमै मात्रामा हुन्थ्यो होइन अनि त्यस्तै हामीले हेर्ने मुभिज भनेको बलिउड मुभिजहरू धेरै थियो अनि हलिउडमा पनि भेरी सिमिलर फिचर्स होइन स्किन टोन मात्रै डिफ्रेन्ट हुन्छ अलि तर फिचर्सहरू एकदमै सिमिलर अनि त्यसमा पनि जब कोरियन मुभीहरू आउन थाल्यो नेपालमा देयर वाज दिस क्रेज हुन्छ नि आई थिङ्क एभ्री वान्स वाच्ड लाइक माई स्यासी गर्ल होइन त्यो विन्स्ट्रक भन्ने मुभिजहरू सो त्यति बेला आउँदा चाहिँ एभ्री वान काइन्ड अफ एसोसिएटेड आवर फिचर्स विथ कोरियन पिपल के सो इट्स लाइक नेपाली मुभीहरूमा पनि यस्तो फेस आउँदा चाहिँ नेपाली नै हो भन्नुको सट्टा चाहिँ देयर लाइक कोरियन टाइपको फेस पनि आयो भन्ने हुन्थ्यो भने अहिले अझ अलिक कम भइरहेछ त्यो कुरा चाहिँ अब किनकि आई थिङ्क लट अफ एक्टर्स कमिङ फ्रम आवर ब्याकग्राउन्ड्स एज वेल होइन आवर फिचर्सहरू भएको मान्छेहरू पनि धेरै आइराख्नु भएको छ अहिले एक्टर एक्ट्रेसेसहरू बोथ अनि यसमा डेफिनेटली क्रेडिट गोज टु दया दाई त्यस्तै अरू आर्टिस्टहरू पनि हुनुहुन्छ थिएटर ब्याकग्राउन्डमा एकदमै धेरै आर्टिस्टहरू हुनुहुन्छ जसले चाहिँ त्यसकै लागि काम गरिराख्नु भएको छ अनि त्यो भएर चाहिँ अहिले यो जुन कोरियन फेसको कमेन्ट कम आएको देख्दा चाहिँ आई थिङ्क वे गोइङ समवेयर जस्तो लाग्ने क्या सो आई गेस इन अ लाइक फ्यु इयर्स डाउन द लाइन दे माइट स्टार्ट कलिङ अस नेपाली नै हो भनेर हुन्छ नि रादर देन सेङ कोरियन फेस भन्दा नि नेपाली फेस विथ अ डिफ्रेन्ट फिचर अनि डिफ्रेन्ट स्टोरिज अनि अहिले लाइक यु सेड जनजातिको स्टोरीहरू जस्तै रामबाबु दाईले पनि धेरै अहिले यो थकाली कम्युनिटीको ल्याउनु भयो होइन त्यस्तै अब अरू कम्युनिटीकोहरू पनि आउँदैछ यो कस्तो हुँदो रहेछ भने फेरि नेपालमा चाहिँ फिल्महरू पनि काठमाडौँ भ्यालीभित्रको फिल्म होइन र बाहिरको फिल्मलाई मानिँदो रहेछ क्या जस्तै इफ यु हेभ अ स्टोरी द्याट कम्स इन लाइक रिगार्डिङ लाइक लिम्बू कल्चर अर मगर कल्चर भने चाहिँ त्यसलाई चाहिँ जातीय फिल्ममा लगिदिइहाल्ने हुन्छ नि सो त्यो पनि रहेछ स्टोरीहरू नआएको होइन त्यसलाई चाहिँ सीमित गरिएको जस्तो देखिन्छ अनि त्यो भएर चाहिँ अहिले आइरहेछ एकदमै धेरै स्टोरिजहरू एन्ड आई थिङ्क इट्स गोइङ समवेयर नाइस
नो डेफिनेटली आई थिङ्क जुन भन्यो नि कस्तो कोरियन लुक्सको वाव खालको टाइपको एन्ड लाइक एक्चुअली द लुक्स इज यहीँकै हो होइन स्टिल वाव बट यु नो यु क्यान स्टिल से वाव बट यहीँकै हो होइन एन्ड त्यसरी पनि आई थिङ्क इट चेन्जेस थिङ्स क्या अनि अब अहिलेको समयमा यु नो यङ पिपलहरूले इफ दे सी समवन who look like you, etc., and so on, and you know they see themselves. That's kind of representation. But now representation भनेको पनि एकजना मान्छे मात्रै भयो भने हुँदैन नि त अलिकति त्यो मान्छेलाई भारी हुन्छ तर सबैजना त्यो मिलेर अगाडि बढ्नुपर्छ नि त अनि त्यो अहिले देखिरहेको छ मैले अब म्युजिक भिडियोजहरूको कुरामा गर्दा पनि अब धेरै you know सिङ्गर्सहरू मोडल्सहरू कहिलेकाहीँ त अब सिङ्गर्सहरू you know नन जनजाति ब्याकग्राउन्डको भए तापनि उहाँहरूले मोडल्सहरू होइन द पिपल द्याट दे वर्क इन इट्स क्वाइट अ डाइभर्स खालको रिप्रेजेन्टेसन देख्दाखेरि चाहिँ खुसी पनि लाग्छ क्या बिकज आई थिङ्क द्याट्स वाट वी सुड स्ट्राइभ फरवर्ड विथ बट इक्वली आई रियलाइज द्याट the older people or the people who hold power within certain industries or sectors उहाँहरूको त्यो प्रेफरेन्स चाहिँ अब यस्तो अनुहारले पनि सुन बिकाउन सक्छ र होइन बिकज अब नेपालमा अब सुन चाँदी इज अ बिग थिङ एन्ड when you go back to like okay all these cement sellers or goldको sellersहरूमा कस्तो खालको लुक छ भनेर and you know that the staple is still there खालको क्या अनि and I've heard them talk about you know faces like आवाज नाकै नभएको खालको
Yeah.
होइन अनि इट्स जस्ट लाइक हेलो अब तर अब नाक छैन भन्ने बित्तिकै अब केही नगरेर त बस्नु त भएन त होइन
Yeah.
बट हामी जस्तो देख्ने मान्छे पनि यहाँ मिलियन्स छ अनि
Yeah.
उनीहरूलाई पनि सुनकिन्नु मन हुन्छ
Especially like if you go back to history or even अहिले culturally हेर्ने हो भने सुन धेरै लगाउने त जनजाति कम्युनिटीमा छ कि हाम्रो अर्नामेन्ट्सहरू इफ यु गो ब्याक
Yeah.
टु इट होइन कति धेरै त्यो सेमिनी हामीले अहिले पनि देखिन्छ बोजूहरूले अझै छोड्नु भएको छैन नि लगाउन सो त्यस्तो कुराहरू पनि आउँछ नि अर्को चाहिँ आई फेस दिस माइसेल्फ अबाउट द नोज थिङ लाइक यु सेड हुन्छ नि नाकै नभएको मान्छे भन्दा चाहिँ एउटा म्युजिक भिडियोको एक्सपिरियन्स के द मेकअप आर्टिस्ट वाज हिमसेल्फ लाइक गुरुङ
Yeah.
फ्रम गुरुङ ब्याकग्राउन्ड होइन अनि हि टोल्ड मी इज लाइक कन्ट्रोल गर्नै पर्छ हुन्छ नि नाक राम्रो देख्दैन देन हि ड्रु दिस टु लाइक डार्क lines like right along my nose and I was like यसरी त हुँदैन I cannot do the shoot like this just looking like this and he's like होइन स्क्रिनमा देखिनु पर्छ के नाक चुचो and I was like if the director producer wanted नाक चुचो देखिने मान्छे होइन naturally नै चुचो भएको मान्छे ल्याए भइहाल्यो त why do you need me in the video but then you want me to change my features and like look completely different I was like I almost had a fight with him I was like हुँदैन म लाउँदिनँ यस्तो गर्दै गर्दिनँ naturally जति गर्न मिल्छ natural देखिने तरिकाले गर्दा हुन्छ कन्ट्रोल गर्न पर्छ you have to show your features but not completely change it हुन्छ नि त्यस्तो अनि अर्को चाहिँ एउटा मुभीमा दे साइन्ड मी होइन युकेमै थिएँ अनि साइन गरेर चाहिँ नेपाल जाने बेला दे लास्ट मिनटमा दे क्यान्सल्ड के अन्त लाइक किन चेन्ज भयो त भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ दे मेड सो मेनी एक्सक्युजेस भरे लास्टमा द मेकअप आर्टिस्ट लाइक हुन्छ नि उनीहरू कुरा हुँदा चाहिँ के भने रहेछ भने there's a scene where the lead actress has to wear a lehenga अरे के लास्टमा अनि लेहेङ्गा लाउँदाखेरि चाहिँ हाम्रो फिचर्स लाइक मेरो फिचर्स चाहिँ सुहाउँदैन or like नेपाली देखिनु पर्नेमा चाइनिज कोरियन देखिन्छ भनेर they kicked me out and I was like त्यही representation के कुरा हुन्छ नि lack of representation it's like you want me to wear an Indian costume एक त होइन and you think I look Chinese Korean so नेपाली अनुहार चाहिँ कस्तो हो त नेपाली अनुहार त कति धेरै छ कतिवटा जात जाति छ we have like 127 like languages नेपालभित्र होइन and so many different cultures backgroundsहरू अनि त्यो चाहिँ खै त representation why are we bringing clothes from like लेहेङ्गा लाउनु पर्ने अनि अनुहार पनि हुन्छ नि Indian features के चाहिने चाहिँ किन त भन्ने त्यस्तोहरू पनि गएको थियो but then it was useless like talking back to them because they have this mindset already हुन्छ नि यस्तै हुनै पर्छ अनि यो भन्दा हामी चेन्ज हुँदैन भन्ने mindset पनि so I faced that पनि क्या आफैले नै त्यस्तो कुराहरू चाहिँ
That's so crazy because it's like we don't quite think about when you're creating something whether it's a movie or writing a script you also are at the helm of changing the status quo होइन अनि there are people like you know अब अहिलेको समयमा the you know culture and everything is so enmeshed क्या पहिलाको समयमा पो अब नेपालको पनि कुनै समुदायले मात्र चाहिँ अब अलिकति सलवार कमिज लेहेङ्गाहरू लाउँथ्यो भने अहिलेको समयमा अब especially Nepal being a you know up in a way like we're all adopting taking different things from each other नि त अनि अब you know talent shows-हरुमा घरि लिम्बुले नै गुरुङको ड्रेस लाउँला इत्यादि हैन or थारूको ड्रेस त्यसरी अहिलेको समयमा कति मान्छेले त्यसलाई नराम्रो तरिकाले हेर्ला तर त्यो समयमा त गर्थ्यौ हैन I would think of that as cultural appreciation rather than the latter but it's also as a movie maker you get to change that you get to see that actually हाम्रो बिहाहरूतिर पनि जाँदाखेरि पनि अहिले डिफ्रेन्ट चिजहरू भएछ एउटा भेगमा अब लिम्बुहरूले अब पुरानो मेखलीहरूतिर पनि गइरहेछ तर हामीले नयाँ चिजहरू पनि अडप्ट गरिरहेछ हैन बट also that's the annoying thing about when people do not jazz things up you mentioned you gave us 2 examples and 2 example ma chahi aba you know you had a conversation you shared what you felt and you let it go as well and aba thikai cha त्यो हुँदैन नि हुँदैन because they made up their mind but it also makes me think it must be quite difficult for people who are not able to speak and they're like oh huncha aba बनाइदिनु सबै हैन त्यस्तो भयो भने how is it like especially for a woman for a girl to be in that industry when people are like alik मिलेन यस्तो गर्नु पर्छ खालको
Welcome to A-Star, your complete financial solution. The A stands for first class service and the star relates to you. Our most important clients. We are a team of whole market advisors with more than 10 years of excellent service. Serving nationwide, we specialized in home mortgages and remortgages, wills and estate planning, residential sales and lettings, property management, real estates, insurances and pensions. For both personal and business financial advices, please feel free to contact us for consultant. We look forward to working with you. A-Star Financial Solution. Making your move memorable.
This episode of Action with Podcast is brought to you by our gold partner, A-Star Financial Solutions UK, who'll be there to help you throughout the home buying process from the initial assessments to the day that you get your keys. Our silver partner, TapTap Send. With great rates, zero fee, and instant transfers, sending money to Nepal has never been so easy. Get the app today and use the code ACTION10, especially for our Action with listeners to get a £10 bonus. Tap and send now. Also, a big mention to our silver partner, New Luxmi Jewelers, home to a stunning range of jewelries and timeless collections from the heart of Aldershot. Finally, our bronze partner is Nepal Authentic Dining, where authentic and delicious Nepali food is served right from Shepherd's Bush and Boston Manor. And our bronze partner, Nepali Music Festival UK 2022, taking place at the Harrow Leisure Centre on December 16 with Trishna Gurung and Ekdev Limbu and more. Enjoy the episode.
I think यो कुरा चाहिँ कस्तो छ भने it's growing up in the UK हैन अनि going back to Nepal, working there, it challenges a lot of your values and norms पनि रहेछ. अब जस्तै यहाँ बस्दाखेरि you don't talk about someone's body यत्तिकै हुन्छ नि, you don't point out to them, or you don't talk about someone's like face हुन्छ नि, तिम्रो features चाहिँ मिलेन यस्तो भन्दैन नि त. तर नेपालमा चाहिँ it's so easy, especially for girls. Like menलाई मैले as much, I don't think I've seen them being commented on or like to change your features यस्तो भनेर. But नेपालमा चाहिँ गालामा धेरै ऊ लागेछ हुन्छ नि, like take it off, or like के भन्छ धेरै मोटो भयो पातलो भयो त्यस्तो कमेन्टहरू चाहिँ कति धेरै आइराख्ने रहेछ क्या नेपालमा. अनि अहिले finally people are speaking up against it, but त्यसमा पनि कस्तो भने जस्तै तिमीले भने जस्तै बोल्न नसक्ने मान्छेहरू चाहिँ they have to fit in, like they do everything they can to fit in, because fit in bhayena bhane what if I lose that opportunity हुन्छ नि, what if they kick me out of the movie or out of this project, or even they have the power to kick you off out of the industry itself के.
Yeah.
So त्यो डरले पनि गर्ने हुन्छ. So सिचुएसन चाहिँ अब यस्तो छ, बोल्न सक्ने भयो भने नहुने केही पनि होइन. तर I would not say like बोल्नुपर्छ हुन्छ नि, बोल्यो भने चाहिँ हुन्छ राइट हुन्छ भनेर म भन्न सक्ने सिचुएसनमा छुइनँ नेपालको सिचुएसन हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ.
I think that's a really realistic answer that you gave back. We always sometimes think that, yes, you must speak Kako, but then sometimes it's like speaking, depending on where you are, which part of the world you're in, comes with a cost. Kako,
exactly.
And for some people, that cost is too much. Whereas हामी जो मान्छेहरू अलिकति very privileged situation मा छौँ, हामीलाई पो अब केही मिलेन भने optionsहरू छ हैन. So that's a really good thing that you mentioned there. Talking about kind of speaking up and standing up for yourself, you know, with what happened following Kabaddi during the one of the screenings, that unfolded. I guess that just unfolded, and in like it was like all over the place. So like sabai कुरा अनि and it's crazy, you know, in मेरो perspective that a few weeks ago there were various different things happening on social media, and it was almost like when a woman speaks, we should always listen, and we will always listen. Halko त्यो situation थियो, and there you are, you spoke up, and you took action, and you responded, and you reacted, you responded, because a lot of the times when people don't, then we're like त्यो समयमा चाहिँ किन उले भनेन त, किन गरेन त हैन. तर जब when you did, that just, you know, it's almost like, hello, few weeks ago there was something happening on social media and everyone was saying like, why did this to happen, and when you did it, and it's just like
completely different.
Different. And how does that make you feel about, you know, when you look at the situation as a third person, you know, outside of it, how does that make you feel about, you know, the people's belief in a woman, or in that kind of setting?
I feel like we're still living in a community in Nepal where victim blaming is like still so prevalent. Like it's not going away anytime soon. So when that incident happened, or even the incidents prior to my incident that happened, I thought the world was so unfair. Like our people are unfair, and everyone's so unfair to women, especially to girls who are going through all this stuff, and like no one's believing them. त्यस्तो feel हुन्थ्यो भने I think I realized fairly quickly that whatever people think and whatever people believe in, that doesn't change the truth and my truth, and especially the victim's truth as well. Okay, so कस्तो हुँदो रहेछ नेपालमा चाहिँ, like I have to like take it back to my experience, there's a lot of people involved, not just you and the person who did something bad to you. It's actually outside forces coming in. It's like telling you to do this, do that. Someone's like telling you to take back what you said, and then apologize to the harasser himself. And त्यस्तो चाहिँ हाम्रो सोसाइटीमा चाहिँ एकदमै हुने रहेछ भन्ने थाहा भयो. अनि अर्को कुरा चाहिँ we're divided by so many things, or like blinded by so many things. There's like caste, religion, status, and all these things come into play रहेछ when a certain incident happens, especially involving a woman. Well, it's like an accident, like एउटा हुन्छ नि बाइक एक्सिडेन्ट, कार एक्सिडेन्ट भयो, त्यसमा पनि त कति धेरै हुन्छ नि पोलिटिक्स जस्तो छिर्दो रहेछ भन्ने कुरा बुझ्यो भने, especially if it involves a woman, they think it's easy to like manipulate her and then change her thinking, or even threaten her to some point, and make her believe that what she did was wrong. So त्यो चाहिँ मैले feel गरेँ एकदमै नै. अनि that's why I made it so clear in my statement. I wanted to emphasize on the fact that there is no wrong time to do the right thing भनेर मैले लेखेको थिएँ कि त्यो स्टेटमेन्टमा. So I want to relate it to the fact that the people who spoke up after 8 years, after 2 months, and after 2 years, or instantly, it's not wrong. Your truth doesn't change whether you speak it after like even a decade later. It's still the truth. So I think speaking up कस्तो हुँदो रहेछ भने अहिले चाहिँ कस्तो भने अघिकै कुरा जोडिन्छ क्या, बोल्नुपर्छ, एक्सन लिनुपर्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ it's not possible for everyone. You have to think about that as well. And I actually saw what happens if you speak up हुन्छ नि. So त्यसले चाहिँ अब I hope this experience kind of gives strength to people to speak up, even though it might be difficult, there might be people on your way, but I just hope it doesn't discourage girls who are like willing to speak up against their like abuse or harassment. किनकि they saw what happened to me हुन्छ नि afterwards. So I hope that doesn't discourage them. It's just like whatever your truth is, it doesn't change no matter what people say. So त्यही भएर मैले चाहिँ मान्छेहरूले भनेको सुन्नै छोडेँ कि I didn't used to be this person. Like पहिला, I think you know me well, होइन? It's like, oh, we have to listen to the elders, we have to listen to people. मान्छेले के भनिरहेछ, के गरिरहेछ, you have to fit in. यस्तो जस्तो लाग्थ्यो नि. अहिले चाहिँ it's like, it doesn't change me, it doesn't bother me. Whatever you say, it's like, I'm just gonna be me, and whatever I did is the right thing. Just लाग्छ मलाई अहिले पनि. अहिले त झन् अब I don't know if you know about the situation, they filed a case against me instead. So it's like a funny situation in a way, but I'm also happy that happened because now it's gone to the court itself. So I hope they're going to do a fair investigation. But because before that, it was just my words against a whole, like a lot of people who were not believing me. But अहिले त actual investigation हुन्छ होला भन्ने चाहिँ मैले hope गरेको छु. त्यति बेला चाहिँ we had this मिलापत्र गर्यो नि त. मिलापत्र गर्दाखेरि that I did in a sense कस्तो भन्दाखेरि it was my choice के त्यो गर्न पनि, my decision, because I thought it was going to calm the people down. And I didn't want a war happening outside because यो त religion, जात, धर्म सबैतिर गइरहेको थियो, rather than just an incident between me and a guy, another human being, not even a guy. It was me against another human being. त्यो थियो भने मान्छेहरूले यसलाई चाहिँ अरू डिफ्रेन्ट वेमा लगिदिनु भयो. अनि त्यसलाई चाहिँ मैले कस्तो सोचेको थिएँ भने I hope मैले if everybody deserves forgiveness भन्ने नै थियो. So forgive गरेपछि चाहिँ I think everything's gonna calm down त्यस्तो सोचेको थिएँ, but then things just escalated in a completely like different way. So अहिले आएर यो सिचुएसनसम्म आइसक्दा चाहिँ it's still a very sad situation for women in Nepal. It's like म जति अब एक्सपिरियन्स छ होइन, जहाँ बस्छु, मेरो फ्यामिली जस्तो हुनुहुन्छ, सपोर्ट सिस्टम छ, गुड सपोर्ट सिस्टम हुँदा त यति गाह्रो हुँदो रहेछ भनेपछि इमेजिन अ नर्मल गर्ल, just like हुन्छ नि, like normal भन्नाले I am normal, so हुन्छ नि, like someone with not having that support system, अनि not having that background, that हुनुपर्ने सपोर्ट सिस्टम भएन भने झन् कस्तो हुन्छ होला भन्ने चाहिँ मैले धेरै इमेजिन गरेँ कि त्यति बेला सोचेँ भनौँ न.
It's so tough. It's so
Yeah.
tough. And I mean, following on from what happened, even for people who were observing, and I'm sure for your family members and loved ones, friends, it must have been so tough to see as
Yeah,
well. I know.
exactly.
And for you, that's another case, eh? And it's hard to. Social media is one of those things that you just see things that you don't intend to as well. And at that time, I think there was some extreme displays of के भन्ने अब hate भनौँ
Yeah.
होइन. And to the point, it's just like a lot of things have been happening in Nepal when it
Yeah.
comes to these kind of situations. There have been men who have been questioned about, actions and have really strong claims against them. But one did not see such level of, hate spiral
Yeah,
out on the
exactly.
streets. And I'm just like so confusing. And Titi Balasin, you almost feel like so sad. Yeah. Like, like
Yeah.
kosto like, hello.
You kind of, I think मलाई त कस्तो भयो भने I felt sorry for them because they were wasting so much of their time and effort doing something that they don't even know the truth about. Or they don't, it was like they were being manipulated to doing that like demonstration just okay because I don't think anyone in their right mind would spend so much energy, effort, time to go out in the streets and हुन्छ नि against a person who just stood up against harassment. I know, and it wasn't even inside like कस्तो भन्ने, it was in a public place.
Yeah.
अनि obviously the CCTV के कुरा आउँछ होइन, I don't want to go there, but it's like why would I like मलाई चाहिँ त्यही हुने क्या like why would I say it if it didn't happen हुन्छ नि like what do you want me to say or what do you want me to do to अनि कतिले के पनि भन्यो okay harassment भए पनि नगर्नु पर्थ्यो or यस्तो एक्सन नलिनु पर्थ्यो. I still think to the point like to this day and if anyone else was in my spot and if they would feel what I felt at that moment, they would have reacted exactly the same way or maybe even worse.
Yeah.
Just लाग्ने क्या अनि त्यो demonstration यस्तोहरू पनि I think they were being manipulated as well. It was a few people like you know like running them अनि कस्तो भने हाँस उठ्थ्यो मलाई त एकदमै हाँस उठ्थ्यो पनि अनि sad लाग्ने like you said like उनीहरूले त्यति नै बुझेपछि त त्यति नै गर्नुहुन्छ होइन if they don't have much understanding because like social media was used as a tool to destroy my character my like हुन्छ नि everything भनौँ न अनि त्यसले गर्दा चाहिँ whatever the information they got त्यतिमै बुझ्नु
they ran with it and there's no point to even attempt to change that mind because it's
and I don't have any like चित्त दुखाइ पनि छैन कोहीसँग हुन्छ नि I just feel like मान्छेले जति बुझ्छ जति देखेको छ त्यति नै गर्ने रहेछ भन्ने नै बुझेँ मैले एक्सपिरियन्सबाट चाहिँ.
You talked about social media and social media is so huge in globally, but more so in in a country like Nepal where internet penetration is so high, so many people have access to smartphones or even phones that have functions of video capability. गाउँ घर देखिने होइन छोटो समयमा 4G को connectivity 3G 4G धेरै ठाउँमा पुग्यो है. अब people have more access to a mobile phone than a toilet. That is statistically proven as well. र त्यो हिसाबले गरेर यो पेन्डेमिकले गरेर पनि हामीले के देख्यौँ भने एक किसिमको पहिला नै चाहिँ अब टु बी अ मिडिया पर्सनालिटी टु बी एन एक्टर यु हेभ टु गो थ्रु ट्रेडिसनल रुट्स ट्रेडिसनल मेथडहरू एन्ड देन त्यही हो क्या लास्टमा चाहिँ अब पिपल ओन्ली पिक पिपल हु लुक लाइक देम इन पावर बट थ्याङ्कफुल्ली द पोजिटिभ साइड अफ सोसियल मिडिया इज TikTok and the likes of Instagram has really stripped that layer of the barrier. अनि जो मान्छेले पनि गाउँ घर जस्तै सिम्पल लुकिङ घरमा पनि होइन माटोले लिपेको घरबाट पनि मान्छेहरूले कन्टेन्ट बनाएर उहाँहरू फेमस हुनु भएको छ which is amazing to see है. तर इक्वली जुन ठाउँमा हाम्रो राइट फर्म्स अफ एक किसिम लाइक न्युजपेपरको प्रेजेन्स र न्युजपेपरको इन्फ्लुएन्स चाहिँ नेपालमा छैन जस्तो पनि लाग्छ मलाई है. किनभने न्युजपेपर भनेको एक किसिम लास्टमा पढ्नु सक्छ कि सक्दैन र कति धेरै न्युजपेपरहरू नेपालमा स्टिल टाइममा पुगेको हुँदैन क्या. किन म पोखरामा थोरै बस्दाखेरि पनि काठमाडौँबाट हिमालयन टाइम्स पोखरामा दिउँसो 3 बजी मात्रै आइपुग्थ्यो क्या बिकज अफ द प्लेनको इत्यादि गरेर त्यो डिस्ट्रिब्युसन च्यानलहरू धेरै पनि छैन होइन. अनि त्यो गर्दाखेरि लास्टमा सो मान्छेहरूले खबर कसरी चाहिँ थाहा पाउँछ अनि लास्टमा इट गोज ब्याक टु रेडियोहरू होइन. तर अहिले त अब बिकज द ग्रोथ अफ सोसियल मिडिया यो ट्रेडिसनल फर्म्स अफ न्युज स्टोरी सेयरिङहरू नै घट्दै गएको छ. and then anyone with a powerful social media page
Yeah.
is becoming a news journalist ityadi. And I feel like, and also anyone with a big following
Yeah.
has the ability to influence young
yeah.
minds.
Exactly.
And I think as people with considerable following, whether it's you, whether it's various fellow models, gym people, etc. It's like हामीलाई त्यो responsibility नचाहे पनि एक किसिम
Yeah.
it's important क्या, like हामीले के सेयर गरिरहेछ, कसरी मान्छेले रिसिभ गरिरहेछ भनेर, you know, आफ्नो हेराइमा, आफ्नो observation कस्तो लाग्छ, this like world of social media that's just booming in Nepal, and how young people are.
I think, like you said, it has got both sides to it. The positive side, like you mentioned, is so big. नेपालमा अहिले कति धेरै आर्टिस्टहरू भने जस्तै लाइक टिकटकबाट आउनु भएको छ होइन. धेरैजना अहिले म्युजिक भिडियो इन्डस्ट्री त आई थिङ्क टिकटकसँगै रिलेटेड छ. इभन सङ्ग्सहरू, मुभीहरू नै पनि हामी वी रिलाइ अन टिकटक अ लट. लाइक टिकटकमा गीत चल्यो भने चाहिँ बल्ल चलेको मान्नेसम्म भइसकेको छ क्या अहिले चाहिँ. सो त्यो हिसाबले चाहिँ प्रमोसनको लागि भनौँ होइन, अनि lot of different थिङ्सको लागि चाहिँ social media has helped. But at the same time, negative कुरा त्यही, like you said, young mindsहरूमा यति साह्रो इन्फ्लुएन्स छ कि मलाई त अहिले कस्तो हुन्छ भने I don't post as much as I used to. Because यो पहिला चाहिँ कस्तो हुन्थ्यो नि, इट्स माई सोसियल मिडिया, आई क्यान पोस्ट वाट एभर हुन्छ नि, मलाई मन लागेको जस्तो हुन्छ भन्दा नि कतिले चाहिँ कसरी हेर्नु हुँदो रहेछ भने मैले के गरिरहेछ अरू मैले कहाँ गइरहेको छु होइन, त्यो कुराहरू चाहिँ ओके उसले गरिरहेछ, वी सुड डु इट टु भन्ने आउँदो रहेछ दिमाग. आई फलोड सम पिपल एज वेल हुन्छ नि, अनि उहाँहरूले गरेको देखेपछि चाहिँ मलाई पनि जान मन लाग्ने हुन्छ नि, अर लाइक त्यस्तै हुनु पर्यो, म पनि त्यस्तै हुने, त्यो इन्फ्लुएन्स हुन्छै हुन्छ. सबकन्सियस माइन्डले पनि त्यो हेर्दै जाँदा फलो गर्दै जाँदा हुने रहेछ. त्यही भएर अहिले इट्स काइन्ड अफ स्क्यारी. आई थिङ्क देयर निड्स टु बी लाइक filter that needs to be like there to protect the young minds, because kids as young as 3 or 4 are like on TikTok the whole day, and there is no restriction to like how much you can scroll on TikTok. Even I find myself like sometimes around midnight and I'm just bored and I'm like, okay, let me just scroll, and then I remember it's like 2 a.m. at night and it's like that's so bad, you know? So I see young kids in Nepalma scrolling, so it's really bad. I think the parents have to set up like parental control भन्छ नि, त्यस्तो चाहिँ हुनुपर्छ जस्तो लाग्छ नेपालमा, but it's not there at the moment.
I think it almost feels like it's a losing battle. We can only try, and as individuals, I think, you know, if we were slightly more switched on, I think it would be really important. But yeah, it is quite crazy because you know, these pages and these people have more power to influence news and to dictate the way that people can think in this city. And we're not necessarily thinking critically. We're not necessarily thinking yo thik ho ki kaबाट चाहिँ आइरहेको छ हैन, यो पेजले त्यस्तो भन्छ भने let me go and find अर्को पेजले के भनिरहेछ भन्ने त्यो ability to think चाहिँ अब नर्मली स्कुलहरूबाट होइन शिक्षाबाट पाइन्छ भने त्यो I'm not sure त्यो चाहिँ लास्टमा चाहिँ एक्सर्साइज भएको छ कि छैन भनेर. अनि that's a tricky part. And अब कल्चरली हामी अब अलिकति त्यसरी धेरै फ्यामिलीहरूमा त्यस्तो खालको डायलग, त्यस्तो खालको सोच्ने स्पेसहरू पनि अलिक दिएको हुँदैन होइन, त्यो हायरार्किकल पेट्रियार्कल तरिकाले हामी हुर्केर पनि. So I do find all of this you know, it's a huge like I'm gonna say that again, can of worms. It's just like, oh my god, type cool. But anyways, so you know, I guess in the kind of past post 2016 देखि 2022 सम्ममा, you know, you've seen a lot, you've experienced a lot. I know that there have been various positive and challenging experiences in previous movies as well. So when this most recent thing happened, I was just like, you know what, she's always been somebody who would speak or who would say, actually this is not right. And unfortunately the annoying thing is sometimes, you know, you realize that when you're standing up, not everyone is standing up next to you, and people are literally like trying to look away. But equally, I hope this episode does not deter other people from
Yeah.
not doing the right thing. You've done quite a lot of music videos. If there was one memorable music video that, I really had a great time filming and the experience was great. The footage came out well too. But which video would you refer to?
I think in terms of behind the scenes, अनि त्यहाँको मान्छेहरू सबै what happened?
Did you see? Did you hear?
Yeah.
Oh.
What are you doing?
It was my jaw. I don't know what happened. Sorry. I didn't know it was so loud.
No, it happens to me as well.
Hey,
Like
okay.
left side, my mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes.
भन्दै गर्दा टाइपको. So yeah, I think the recent music video that I did was Sunil Giri दाईको music video, Soltini भन्ने. It was shot in Bujung गाउँ, लमजुङको.
It was with somebody who's well known, no? You were starring opposite.
I think it was someone new.
Hey, oh, okay.
No, but the singer is quite well known.
Hey, okay.
I think he's well known as well, but मैले चाहिँ त्योभन्दा अगाडि चिनेको थिइनँ. गणेश मान घले हुनुहुन्थ्यो मेरो को एक्टर चाहिँ, अनि सिङ्गर चाहिँ सुनिल गिरी हुनुहुन्थ्यो. अनि त्यो गाउँमा चाहिँ कस्तो भने सबै होमस्टे रहेछ क्या. अनि त्यो गाउँ पनि इफ यु सी इट इट्स जस्ट लाइक अ स्लोप अफ जस्ट हाउसेस. अनि इभन देयर त्यसलाई के भन्छ अगाडिको आँगन बरन्डा जस्तै आँगन चाहिँ सबै सेयर्ड क्या. So like this house is sharing it to another house, and it's a complete गुरुङ गाउँ.
Wow.
अनि यति त्यो ठाउँको मेमोरिजहरू चाहिँ we stayed there for like 4.5 days, like 4 days भनौँ. यति रमाइलो अनि त्यहाँको मान्छेहरू so welcoming. When we went there, they were waiting there for like I think 3 hours because त्यो बाटोमा हाम्रो चाहिँ गाडी अर्केर बाटो बिग्रेर अड्केको थियो. But they were still there क्या. यस्तो गाउँदेखि माथि डाँडा जानु पर्दो रहेछ. 3 घन्टासम्म कुरेर बस्नु भएको थियो. अनि they had prepared this like flowers अनि खदाहरू सबै प्रिपेयर गरेर त्यहाँदेखि हामीलाई सबैले गाइड गरेर तल ल्याउनु भयो. अनि हाम्रो सुट स्टार्ट हुनु अगाडि नै त्यहाँ नाचगान प्रोग्राम थियो क्या एउटा. अनि there was this kid उसलाई अझै पनि मलाई याद छैन, मसँग पिक्चर्सहरू छ. ही केम एन्ड स्याट नेक्स्ट टु मी सुरुमा नै. अनि यसरी पक्रेर छोडेन कि मलाई. अनि आज अनि सबैले चाहिँ उसलाई गाली गरिराख्नु भएको थियो कि हे छोड जा हुन्छ नि, सबले गाली गर्ने रहेछ उसलाई चाहिँ. अनि त्यहाँ पछाडि मैले चाहिँ होइन बस भन्दै राखेँ क्या. अनि यत्तिकै बस्यो. अनि सुट सकेर हामी त्यो होल थ्रु आउट द सुट पनि ऊ आइरहेको थियो सुटको बेला नै. अनि पछि जाने बेलामा चाहिँ उसले हेरेन क्या मलाई, त्यो जाँदा गाह्रो हुन्छ भनेर होला. But I think that was the one of the
Oh, how old was this kid?
He was like 13-14.
Oh, okay.
अनि यस्तो त्यो कस्तो भन्ने डान्स पनि गर्ने सबै गर्ने होइन. त्यहाँको गाउँको आन्टीहरू पनि यति रमाइलो अनि गफ गर्नुहुन्थ्यो. हामी जुन होमस्टेमा बसेको थियो त्यो होमस्टेको आन्टीले चाहिँ म फर्किने बेलामा मलाई त्यो गाउँको नयाँ चामल हुन्छ नि, she said I reminded her of her daughter who was in Germany I think. उहाँ चाहिँ छोरी एकजना मात्रै अनि जर्मनी जानुभएको रहेछ. अनि छोरीको याद आएर अनि छोरी एक्लै होला, तिमी पनि एक्लै छ जस्तो छ होइन, त्यही भएर चाहिँ चामल प्याक गरिदिनु भएको थियो कि. I had that चामल like कतिसम्म खाएँ मैले भन्छ नि, so yummy. Like त्यो पकाउँदा पनि यस्तो मिठो फ्रेग्रेन्स आउने क्या. सो त्यो थियो. अनि त्यो गाउँमा चाहिँ even the team was so nice. सुनिल दाईको टिम एकदमै नै सानो टिम तर मेहनती टिम भनौँ न. Very hard working and everyone's like hands on with everything. A cinematographer was working on something else, like the director was working on the art direction हुन्छ नि, कस्ट्युम पनि हेरिरहेको छ सबै गरेर. त्यो चाहिँ एकदमै रमाइलो एक्सपिरियन्स भएको थियो बुजुङ गाउँको.
Oh, that sounds so lovely. It almost makes me. You sold Buzungao for me, so I need to go. I need to go and visit.
Yeah, it's next to घले गाउँदेखि अलिकति टाढा छ.
So we were just talking about Buzungao. I know that you like to travel and you go to a lot of different places. One of our conversation was, I think it's 2019 Mala. Mardi Malsa Songi trekking and it's 2022. I think it's 23 pani huncha hai.
I went to Mardi Khasan.
Hey, oh,
yeah, I
who did
went
you go
to
with?
like end of 2019.
How dare you?
It's with my sister.
Oh,
Didi
that's
aunu
nice.
थियो Nepal 2019 ma end ma, and so we went. It was like because the Mardi I saw in pictures was completely like dry land हुन्छ नि, एकदम सुक्खा त्यस्तो टाइपको थियो नि त. हामी जाँदा चाहिँ हिउँ परेको थियो क्या, because we went around December.
Yeah.
It's not even like trekking season, you know. And it was just like,
but it must have been empty.
Yeah, empty अनि snow everywhere. So त्यो कस्तो कस्तो बाटोहरू फोटोमा देखेको मैले केही पनि देखेर, everything was like white and covered in snow. It was really good. We missed you.
We'll have to find another
Yeah.
trek.
Annapurna.
2023. Okay, 2023. We'll work that out. I think a lot of question that people would have naturally wanted me to ask is, graduate भयो, masters गर्यो.
Yeah.
अब के, होइन? Because about, there's equally, okay, Kabaddi 4 पनि भइसक्यो, होइन?
Yeah.
त्यहाँ पनि अब के, होइन? But then it's like, will you pursue that kind of 9 to 5 career खालको,
I am looking for jobs right now, but not like limited to the UK. So I'm looking for jobs that I can do both, maybe remote jobs. तर कस्तो भने नेपालमा based हुन मिल्ने क्या.
Yeah.
त्यो चाहिँ अलि harder रहेछ find गर्नलाई. There's only like positions for like country director हुन्छ नि एकदमै
Yeah.
high jobहरू मात्रै छ. But I'm looking for opportunity where I can work UK मा पनि, but then work in Nepal as well at the same time, so that time off भएको बेला चाहिँ मुभीहरूमा पनि गर्न मिल्छ भनेर चाहिँ त्यो गर्न ट्राई गरिरहेको छु.
That's really interesting. And I love that. I love that, you still want to, and I think life is not just black and white. I want black, white, as well as the rainbow in
Yeah,
between color.
definitely,
Do you get what I
yeah.
mean? And it's long enough for that. Okay?
Yeah.
And, if the past few years has shown anything, you've been able to achieve that. I'm sure it was a lot of challenges,
Yeah.
and thinking like, oh my God, किन चाहिँ मैले art गरिहालेँ,
Exactly.
होइन?
Especially during dissertation. I was like,
Yeah. I mean,
why am I doing this?
you were in your quarantine hotel doing your
Yeah.
dissertation, right? Because I think Kabaddi had already started.
Dissertation ko research proposal त्यति बेला चाहिँ भइरहेको थियो.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and shooting पनि start हुन लागेको
That's so intense, Hami.
Yeah.
Even without an acting career, dissertation, yeah, no, like it feels like a headache,
Yeah.
Nita. So I can't imagine, but I think that just shows that there's a lot of focus or that willingness to complete things, yeah. And I think sometimes that carries us forward, which is remarkable. Talking about career यहाँको भयो, अर्को त्यो नेपालको केसमा चाहिँ अब things have improved from what I've heard in terms of how much money that one makes doing music videos or doing films. But in your experience, you have been going back and forth Nepal and the UK, and just going back and forth costs money as well. I know. And I always find that for especially women, or now not just limited to women, but a lot of things required for press promotions cost so much money, whether it's clothes and so on. And sadly, people always expect you to wear something different, wear something new. And these are normally never quite covered by the film team or etc. Nita. What's your view on like how much, the ability to kind of support yourself through acting in Nepal?
It has definitely improved. Like even during my career, the beginning was completely different. Like the pay wasn't that good. Like for starting, हैन जसले पनि जति नै रोल भए पनि सुरुवात हो यति नै हो यस्तै हो सबैले गर्ने भन्नुहुन्थ्यो हैन. अहिले चाहिँ I guess I'm very grateful and I feel lucky enough to have worked with teams who have kind of offered to help with the flights and sometimes with the like for example the quarantine hotel हैन त्यस्तोहरुमा चाहिँ they have offered to help. अनि अर्को चाहिँ अब जस्तै about promotions and stuff, luckily I've worked with design, as you know, like grow in the industry and as you know people, त्यो आफै हुने रहेछ के designers come to you or you go to designers and you collab with them, so like there's like a mutual understanding, you post for them अनि हुन्छ नि त्यसरी हुँदो रहेछ. But at the same time there's still a huge like pay gap. I don't know if it's actual pay gap, but I've only heard from other people. It's like, oh, someone's getting paid this much for a movie, and same movie ma the female artist, like the co-actor, is not being paid the same amount.
Yeah.
So त्यो gap चाहिँ अझै पनि huge नै छ. अनि but especially on music videos, like the pay is really good. Like at the moment, हुन्छ नि मैले गरेको music videosहरु movie मा पनि राम्रै छ, but then movie is like it takes up a whole year almost, whereas music video is like few days. I know maximum. On त्यसमा पनि राम्रो पे राम्रो team, result पनि instantly आउने. But having said that, I don't want to be like lured into that complete like loophole भनौँ न, because त्यो बानी पनि हुँदो रहेछ के. तर I think the past few years I have been able to support myself like independently Nepalma. तर it's not the case for everyone अनि it might not be the case in the future as well. Pay gap धेरै नै छ, but if you find the right team to work with and right people, then obviously अरू हेल्पहरू पनि हुन्छ, जस्तै प्रमोसनको बेलामा, सुटिङको बेलामा, कस्ट्युम्सहरूदेखि लिएर सबै नै टिमले नै गर्छ, त्यो हुन्छ. तर ग्रो हुँदै जाँदा चाहिँ सजिलो हुने रहेछ, but it's not completely like you can depend on it भनेर चाहिँ छैन अहिले पनि.
No, thanks for sharing that. And another thing that I wanted to ask is when you talk about things like, what should be in a contract, whether it's verbal or whether it's written, negotiation and so on. कतिपय त we might have the talent, we might have the skills, in terms of that. But कतिपयको त अब, we might be good at one thing and that negotiation thing might not be.
Yeah.
And that's when we tend to find that, managers or your agent is great.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't have that.
Yeah.
And in a lot of places, the culture isn't quite there to have that, the middle person doing that work for you. There are some people, some actors in Nepal who have somebody speaking on their behalf, negotiating, bringing opportunities. So I just wanted to ask, in your situation, or to work with Miruna Magar, is it a case of, do you do your own kind of dealings, or do you have someone?
अहिलेसम्म चाहिँ I do it myself because I don't
Boss.
think boss. तर यस्तो पनि हुँदो रहेछ, it's easier. अब negotiation चाहिँ मलाई पनि एकदमै गाह्रो लाग्ने कुरा हो, especially नेपालमा. Everyone knows, I think, होइन, पेमेन्ट टाइममा हुँदैन कि, अनि having to ask for money all the time is like not my thing. हुन्छ नि, because I think UK मा काम गरेर होला कि, it's like when the time comes, होइन, your pay should just come to your bank account, हुन्छ नि, एकैचोटि, without having to beg anyone or say anything to anyone हुनु पर्नेमा. नेपाल गइसकेर चाहिँ कहिलेकाहीँ भनिराख्नु पर्ने, रिमाइन्ड गरिराख्नु पर्ने मान्छेहरूलाई हुँदा चाहिँ गाह्रो हुन्थ्यो भने, अहिले चाहिँ अब नेगोसिएसनको पार्टमा पनि I just put it out there, like not in the beginning, I read the script first, अनि सबै कुरा भइसकेपछि चाहिँ I think यति चाहिँ I deserve भनेर चाहिँ I put it out there, होइन, अनि मान्नु पनि हुन्छ, but there are certain times where it's just like they bargain so much. It's like instead of like it's like selling your craft, like selling vegetables and something in the market मा होइन यतिमा गरिदिनु न यतिमा, त्यस्तो हुँदा चाहिँ I was like what, हुन्छ नि, I don't want to do this anymore, but I just say okay. तर कहिले चाहिँ अब गर्दिन पनि, होइन, त्यो कुरा पनि मिल्दैन कहिलेकाहीँ. तर ओभरअलमा हेर्दा चाहिँ गाह्रै छ हो त्यो भन्नलाई क्या मान्छेहरूलाई. अनि त्यो म्यानेजरको पार्टमा पनि I did look up, I think there was this company that was set up, अस्ति दया दाइले पनि भन्दै हुन्थ्यो, he was part of it, but it became really difficult along the way, because नेपालमा कस्तो छ भने मान्छेहरूले चाहिँ त्योलाई त्यो कल्चरै छैन भनौँ न, म्यानेजरहरू राख्ने, त्यस्तो राख्ने भने फेरि लाइक खुब ठुलो भयो हुन्छ त्यस्तो भन्ने चलन पनि छ. अनि अहिलेसम्म चाहिँ आफै नै डिल गरेर.
That's similar to what I hear from people as well. And even when people have put a manager or somebody there, it's just like उहाँसँग किन बोल्नु, तपाईसँग बोल्नु मिल्दाखेरि खालको त्यही भइरहेको छ. अब त्यो proximity is too close खालको जस्तो.
अर्को चाहिँ अब मान्छेहरूलाई भेटेरै कुरा गर्नुपर्छ कि नेपालमा चाहिँ. I don't know why that is, like there's like Zoom, there's हुन्छ नि all this stuff, त्यहाँ Skypeमा Zoomमा गर्दा it doesn't work in Nepal. Sometimes like, I just don't want to go out today, like, can we just talk on the phone भन्दा no, होइन भेटेर गफ. अनि भेटेर पनि I've had experiences where the person calls, होइन, अनि it's like होइन भेटेरै कुरा गरौँ भन्नुहुन्छ, गयो केही कुरा हुँदैन क्या खासै, it's just like drink tea, coffee, अनि त्यहाँपछि हुन्छ स्क्रिप्ट म वाट्सएप गरिदिएको छु भन्नुहुन्छ क्या. You don't even get a like physical script in your hand, हुन्छ नि, त्यहाँसम्म गयो and then फेरि वाट्सएपमा पठाइदिने.
Yeah, it's a lot of like delaying and a time loss खास गरी सोच्दाखेरि चाहिँ. But Miruna, like going back to like even before all of this, you were very much present in UK ko Nepali community. Agi, you briefly mentioned we have hosted events together. We've done like audience reviews for I think it was the first Loot. If I remember. Pati, you did for various other movies too. I think you did for Kabaddi ko लागि पनि audience review गरेका थियो हैन, video reviews त्यो समयमा. And then यहाँ चाहिँ अब you performed in various Nepali events as well, hosted events too. how much of that do you miss, or how much of being part of the UK Nepali community do you miss?
A lot. Because I feel like I've completely भनौँ न त्यो अहिले के भइरहेछ करेन्टली नै त्यो क्याचअप गर्नै नसकेको जस्तो फिल हुने कि इभन द देयर सोसियल मिडिया इभेन्ट्स बट देन आई युज टु वर्क विथ सो मेनी डिफ्रेन्ट पिपल नेपाली पिपल इन द युके होइन अहिले कतिजना त अब कन्ट्याक्टमा पनि हुनुहुन्न कतिजना स्टिल कन्ट्याक्टमा हुनुहुन्छ सो आई फिल लाइक आई फलन बिहाइन्ड अन द्याट सो आई डु मिस इट अनि बट आई चेरिस इट whatever I did होइन त्यति बेला we met through यस्तै hosting the experience I think it was Loot first उसमा भेट भएको
Loot
I saw the picture and I was like so young हामी दुईजना
yeah, you must have been a lot younger.
Yeah.
My hair was like यस्तो माथि I don't know if you see
yeah that face
कहिले काहीँ like त्यो Facebook memories मा आउँछ क्या and sometimes I feel like I should share this but I was just like oh no I don't want to share it because you know you're your own thing now and stuff but
it was fun it was completely different अर्कै world जस्तो लाग्छ क्या मलाई अहिले चाहिँ
there was a lot of different energy then even like अब अहिले पनि I'm still here तर त्यो समयमा फाल्टै खालको जोश थियो क्या everyone really wanted to
do something,
create something होइन अहिले चाहिँ we're much more settled in our own thing and you know ad hoc basis मा गर्छौँ खालको but the first time that I actually met you was at the I think it's the auditions of talent round of Miss UK Nepal. Do you remember?
Yes, Gaumaya Didigo Palama. Yeah, 2011.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, Gaumaya was participating in Miss UK Nepal.
That's what we talked about अस्ति नेपालमा कबड्डीको कुरा गर्दै गर्दा प्रमोसन्समा पनि इन्टरभ्युजमा पनि we mentioned briefly हुन्छ नि how we met भनेर it's like म चाहिँ होस्ट गरिरहेको and दिदी was the winner and it's like I announced it अनि भनेर so त्यो कुराहरूले पनि हाम्रो कबड्डीको जर्नीसम्म आइपुग्दाखेरि अहिले पनि अब एकछिनमा आइसक्दाखेरि हैन त्यहाँदेखि यहाँसम्मको जर्नी सम्झिँदा त it's so beautiful.
Yeah, and it's just like it's so interesting and त्यो समयमा हैन when you were hosting or like let's say 2011 that's the period did you think that you would one day be you know like
never
in lots of movies
no even until hosting Kabaddi Kabaddi ko review लिँदा even until the second Kabaddi सम्म पनि I had no any plans or any idea that I would be in the movies or working in the movies alongside the artists that I'm like taking reviews for. So सोचेकै थिएन त्यति बेलासम्म त I was just like I thought I was going to be limited to the UK नै UK मै गर्छु होला जे गर्छ हैन अनि त्यो होस्टिङ पनि अब कस्तो भन्ने सुरुमा I did त्यही Miss UK नेपालमा त्यसपछि पनि I didn't think I was going to get opportunities or anything. त्यसरी it just came along. So
you spoke really well and you speak really well in Nepali and in English and I think that's great. One question that I have to ask is like the influence of your mother in your life and in your career. How has that been? The only reason why I asked this is my first time this was in 2011 नै होला it was Gaumaya एउटा charity event मा South Harrow football club मा थियो अनि and I think you were younger नै but auntie बोल्न आएको थियो नि मैले मिरुनालाई भन्छु लेग्स दाइबाट सिक्नु खालको and stuff and I'm just like okay ल खालको टाइपको
I think a huge influence and keep on
and then that was the first time that I met her and then I later discovered who she is, what she's done and how she is such a memorable person to so many people. But the first time auntie I was just like oh my god such a refined auntie and she speaks so well her body language the way she carries herself and then later you connect the dots and I'm like oh wow
she's I think my biggest supporter biggest critique everything I've done in my life in my career has been inspired by her even the subject that I chose to study sociology and international development sabai nai mommy ko kaamharu dekhera sanoma I think I basically followed her just there and so she's been the biggest inspiration for me and even with acting and stuff and like you said I would say Miruna bhanchu siknu parcha ho testo mancheharu chai testo personalities haru mommy le nai भन्नुहुन्थ्यो कि मलाई especially with you Gaumaya didi अनि अरु पनि UK को जति पनि हुनुहुन्छ हैन it's like oh you should talk to them you should like learn from them भन्छ नि केही न केही जोसबाट पनि केही न केही सिक्न सकिन्छ भन्ने चाहिँ सानैदेखि भन्नुहुन्थ्यो अनि I want to relate it to the stuff you said अघि नै about the rainbow मम्मीले चाहिँ बटरफ्लाई त्यसलाई नै बटरफ्लाईको उ गर्नुहुन्थ्यो क्या so she's always told me हुन्छ नि I don't know how to put it but butterfly ले चाहिँ like if you go and then land on one surface and you become that color okay? So you go land in a different field and you become that color so why not become a rainbow or why just limit yourself to one color then that's how I kind of went ahead with my life अहिलेसम्म पनि जे गरे जस्तै होस्टिङ भयो डान्सिङ भयो एक्टिङ अरू जति पनि कुराहरू मैले लिए लाइफमा चाहिँ why not try it जे पनि गर्न सकिन्छ अरूले त्यही आउने कि दिमाग उसले त गरिरहेछ I should try it too भन्ने टाइपले चाहिँ गर्थेँ म सानैदेखि so yeah
I love it. I think it's working out and it will continue to work out because the thing is because you're approaching life that way, it just won't suit to just do one thing.
Yeah.
I know.
Definitely. Yeah.
So I think it's too late. That ship has sailed.
Go back now.
Yeah. We're always going to be like doing 10 different things. That's amazing. Right. I mean, like, I feel like I have asked so many things. We've had a very long conversation. Is there anything that you want to share or you feel like, you'd love to
I don't really have much. I think I've said everything that we talked about. But Theo, I just want to say like thank you to you first, Mata, for giving me this space to just talk about stuff. And not even like it didn't feel like an interview. It's just like a chit chat, and it felt really relaxed and calming. But अनि त्यस्तै to the people watching I just want to say thank you for just being you and just being this amazing human being that you guys are and please stay that way if you have because I realized recent incident ma there's a lot of negativity that needs to come out okay mancheharubata they just need an outlet where they can just put it all out so before you do that please think about it a little bit before making any negative comment about anyone or saying something that you don't have like backup गर्ने कुरा नभइकन चाहिँ केही पनि नभन्नु होला अनि just stay amazing and be the happy self that you are and the same to you as well.
Well, thank you so much. And I think that advice we should all take, we should all take at any moment in our lives, before really kind of jumping to conclusion, especially with very little knowledge and without that kind of lived experience right there as well. That's very important in this day and age. Thank you so much for coming. It's been a good chat. And to everyone who is still listening or watching us on YouTube, thank you so much for sticking by. Appreciate it. And I hope we do this again. Maybe in a trek somewhere. A few years down the line with a whole podcast studio.
I hope that happens 2023.
Okay, definitely. Okay. There must be a photo.
We said that in 2019.
2019. All right, on that note, thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. This was Ikshin with Miruna Magar. Bye.
Bye.
This episode is brought to you by our gold partner, A-Star Financial Solutions UK, silver partners, Tap Send and New Luxmi Jewelers, bronze partners, Nepal Authentic Dining and Nepali Music Festival UK 2022. Thank you for listening to Ikshin with.